Well, hello, race fans. A new edition of the EKN Debrief up now. Episode number 155. It's a Wednesday, September the 3rd, 2025, rolling our way into the final couple of months of the season. My name's Rob Howden. We'll be joined by the driver and the journalist who was trackside at the 2025 Rock Island Grand Prix, David Cole, joining me here today, of course, to do our full debrief on the Labor Day Classic, as he was down at the Rock throughout the weekend. This week's show presented by DID Chain. Since 1933, DID has been designing and manufacturing high-quality chains that are chosen and utilized by the world's best power sports athletes and is the winningest chain brand in the industry. From the hairpin terms of MotoGP to your local circle track and everywhere in between, DID has a chain offering for all levels of power sports that are designed to outlast and outperform the competition. With over 90 years of experience, stay driven with DID. So, you think, Dave, you like that intro? Driver / journalist?
No, it's more journalist / driver.
I'll tell you one thing, your body is hurting today, but not because of the typing you did or the social media posts you made. That's for sure.
What are you talking about?
You're in pain. That's all you've talked about the last 2 days. I love it. I love it.
Well, again, we can get into it right now if you want. I can tell you exactly why.
We'll get into it later. You haven't raced for what, 10 months? So or
11.
Months.
Thank you very much. 11.
All right, let's roll into this, folks. For those of you who may not know, the Rock Island Grand Prix, the Labor Day Classic, been around 30 years now, actually over 30 years. But the 30th edition of the event was this past Labor Day, the August 30th to 31st, down in Rock Island, Illinois, right on the banks of the Mississippi River in the Quad Cities, with what, David? Davenport, Moline, Rock Island, and
Bettendorf,
Iowa. There you go. How was it? What was the weather like, anyways, all told?
Yeah, well, so I look at the forecast before I leave. It's a 20% chance of rain on, I think, just maybe Friday or maybe Saturday. I can't remember which, but I was like, I'm not going to bring the rain stuff.
You did not.
And when I say rain stuff, it just means extra shoes or extra suit just in case, just.
Did you have a rain suit?
I actually don't. No, I never been a big fan of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember when we did CKNA, I was fully rained up and you were just out in the regular suit.
Yeah, I just like having that extra pair in case it does dry up and you don't want to sit in wet suits. So
yeah, understood.
So it ended up raining on Friday night. Storm, or not really necessarily a storm, but rain shower, and that came through. So soaked up the racetrack. As they were building, they took a break, went back out, started building again. And then in the morning, the track was certainly wet. So really nobody got on the racetrack in the first hour, I think, because the track was still wet. And with the sun coming up and the skies clearing out, it was like, why burn up a set of rain tires? So everybody kind of waited for a little bit of dryness to come. And once carts started going out at their normal scheduled time, people started hitting the racetrack. So it did kind of shuffle things up there a little bit because of the way the format that racetrack or the event goes. The first practice session is just practice, but the second practice session for all categories is qualifying. So it made for a quite interesting second round of practice / qualifying.
Yeah, no doubt. Get right at it, right?
For a lot of people, it was the first time on the racetrack. So,
well, let's get to it now. Just before we do it, what's the track? Obviously, going back to its traditional layout, the traditional area of the track last year because of some construction downtown on the track that has been running.
Yeah, that's part of our paddock pass. We'll get.
All right, we'll roll into that. Let's go into right now the by the numbers, David. Let's hit that now to cap off this first segment.
Well, it was sunny the rest of the weekend, so it did. That was the only time it did rain, so it was sunny the rest.
I saw that. Yeah, indeed.
And not that kind of hotness that I know you remember so well of Rock Island Grand Prix. It was comfortable. The breeze felt really good when it did come through. But so a perfect weekend once the rain got away.
What were the temps, like mid-70s kind of thing?
I want to say it got up to 80 maybe. So I would say high 70s for sure.
Yeah, we've had some sweltering weekends, though, that's for sure. Again, by the numbers, it's sad to say, but it's kind of been a steady decline over the last number of years. 224 back in 2021, 199 2022, 23 209, then 196, and 172 entries this past year, David. Overall feel like, looking at some of the categories here that were down pretty significantly. The addition of the Margay Ignite 100cc category brought 14 more entries in. But yeah, it's just tough to see some of the decline throughout the categories.
That's essentially the recap of the by the numbers. Yeah, it is a decline. Really, there's no category that has gained entries. The Ignite program for the Briggs 206 package has kind of been the steady. Last year we saw a bump in those categories, so this was a little bit of drop off. But you look at Ignite Senior over the last 5 editions, this was the second highest we had. Yep. Ignite Senior 2 was the third highest. Ignite Masters was the third highest. So, again, it's just based around, Rob, you said it in I think it was This Week in Karting. And I kept telling everybody this all weekend long. There wasn't as much race. When this event was one of the biggest events of the year, there wasn't as much racing going on across the country. So I really think that's that, and the fact that street racing is dangerous. There's just that element that not a lot of drivers or parents even, because again, we're still trying to find racers between the ages of 18 and 30 in the sport, because that's not as many as there used to be in that age range as well too. So again, this was it's more of a senior focused program. And again, getting people from the club tracks to go do something different. And the fear factor and the amount of racing going on across the country, just 2 big factors into why the numbers are so low.
Yeah, and I will throw this out there because I think that's a perceived danger as well. Because I don't see there's any more danger at Rock Island than there is at the Super Nationals, right? You're still carrying a ton of speed from a lot of the corners. It's exactly the same. It's just barriers all around the racetrack. It's just a perceived danger of running in the streets. And to be honest, Rock Island's a pretty simple racetrack once you get it dialed in, because it's a bunch of 90-degree corners, which in a Briggs you're flat out all the way around. Anyways, were you flat all the way around, David, or was there any increased grip that maybe
we're in the Ignite category. We're running on the harder tires, so it's not flat out everywhere you go. No different than last year's layout. It wasn't flat out everywhere you go. Again, it's the same tech barriers that they use at Elkhart Grand Prix, Quincy Grand Prix, Super Nationals, Rock Cup USA, temporary circuits. So it's all the same barriers. It is the track itself, and we'll talk about that later. It's rough. It beats up at your body a little bit, but again, you're right. It's the perceived danger. It's thinking it's definitely unique from racing in a parking lot, but still it's the same barriers that you're hitting.
Yeah, 100%. High water marks from the weekend in terms of numbers: 18 drivers in the Ignite Senior category, 14 Briggs 206 medium, 16 in the King of the Rock Briggs category. Those were essentially the highest ones. 15 drivers that were there in the vintage categories as well. Always great to see the history of the sport still on the racetrack. But again, 172 total entries at this year's Rock Island Grand Prix. Our first segment is now done. When we get back, we'll jump into the paddock pass, as David had mentioned, presented by Sody Kart USA. Parolin is among the winningest brands in the USA and around the world. The Parolin Le Mans full-size chassis for junior and senior classes and the Parolin Opportunity model for cadet divisions have earned success weekend after weekend at all the major championships and events in both the USA and throughout Europe. The Parolin chassis lineup also includes the Invader shifter, along with the Daytona 4-cycle chassis and the Delfino Kid Kart. Karters can head to the ParolinUSA.com website, where the entire chassis line and parts are available to you, with shipping available all across North America. Parolin USA partners with several companies and race teams across the country to provide a strong dealer network to represent the brand locally and at the national level to support drivers throughout North America. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. Fast, fair, and fun. Ignite Karting offers you all of that at an affordable price. Ignite Karting utilizes the spec Margay Ignite K3 chassis with a Briggs & Stratton 206 engine and the Hoosier R80 tire. Everyone in the rookie, junior, senior, heavy, and masters classes compete on the same Ignite K3 chassis, which puts all the emphasis squarely on driver development. Additionally, Ignite Karting is accessible at the local, regional, and national level. Special events for the season include the Ignite Majors that begin with the annual trip to the Daytona International Speedway as part of the WKA Daytona Kart Week, running in both the sprint and road racing events. Those in the Midwest can enjoy the regionally based Ignite Challenge, featuring 5 iconic facilities. Local club programs have also been established in states all across the country, Idaho to Texas, Nebraska to New York, with more tracks and clubs joining the Ignite Karting program. Be part of fast, fun, and great memories with Margay Racing at an Ignite track near you. All information on Ignite events and Ignite kart packages, including dealers in your area, are available at ignitekarting.com. Get off the couch and onto the track this year. Ignite Karting. Fuel your passion. Welcome back to our 155th edition of the EKN Debrief, wrapping up our trackside coverage that David presented throughout the weekend at the Rock Island Grand Prix. My name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole, and we're going to dive now into the paddock pass. David will give us some information from being trackside. This paddock pass presented by Sodi Kart USA. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is Sodi Kart. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to a new exclusive importer, the Karting Distribution, led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Sodi Kart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. Visit sodi-racing-usa.com to learn more about the Sodi Kart chassis, or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. All right, David, you were trackside, rolled in there on Friday. What did you pick up to give to us today in the paddock pass?
Yeah, and again, you kind of previewed it with the going back to the original track. That was kind of the highlight of the 2025 edition of the Rock Island Grand Prix. Is last year the racetrack actually was moved to the west because of the multi-million-dollar renovations going on in the downtown area. More specifically, that district area that we used to party and have a good time at for the longest time. So we did go back to the original track layout where the tracks that or the streets we originally used with some updates. That was one of the more welcome thing was the repaving sections of the racetrack because of the what's the word I'm looking? Infrastructure updates that was being done with water lines, main lines, all these underground stuff that they were working on for the city. So turn 3, turn 4, and turn 5 welcomed new pavement. Now, it just boggles my mind the way cities think, right? So they redo that whole district area that you're very familiar with, Rob,
yes,
where the stage used to be and all that. So that's actually a road now. It's no longer just a walking area, although they do have wider sidewalks to allow the businesses around there. Unfortunately, there are no businesses there, so it's completely empty. So now there's a street going through. It looks very nice, but not the district that we're used to seeing. So that's all brand new pavement. So turn 3, just the turn itself was repaved because that butts into that district area. But the straightaway from 3 to 4 was unpaved. So that was a bit rough pavement because, again, a lot of these streets have never been repaved over the last 25 years.
Yeah.
But turn 4 was repaved. So that section and all the way to turn 5. So from 4 to 5, that was all completely redone. But that little strip between 3 and 4 wasn't done, which, again, I'm not quite sure why they wouldn't do that anyway. And then the roughest part of the entire racetrack was probably between turn 5 and turn 6. There's 2 manhole covers that continue to stay the same elevation while the rest of the pavement continues to sink. And so those causes those manhole covers to be up a lot taller than the rest of the pavement. So going in a straight line, jumping over manhole covers was not certainly fun. And you know how tight that section is because that's where you have the pit out, or I should say pit in, plus you're trying to turn into turn 6. So quite interesting area there. So that's still rough. Turn 6, pretty standard. You have that little dip there, but it's starting to get rougher. Probably the smoother of the 3 unfinished turns that I would say, but turn 1 still very tight and rough on exit, and turn 2, the run from 1 to 2 certainly still rough as well too. So so less than half the racetrack was repaved, but believe me, the new sections were certainly welcomed. And the first lap you go around it, they kept saying how it was going to be slippery. Well, to be honest, Rob, from the first lap on, the new sections had the most grip out of compared to the old stuff. Again, because it's concrete, it's not necessarily tarmac pavement. It's actual concrete. It certainly took to the tires very well. But that transition from old to new to old while you're turning, especially in turn 3, were quite interesting.
Oh, I bet. Hey, let's talk about what happened in turn number 5, because we're talking all about potentially doing a right-hander coming out into 5 as opposed to the traditional left-hander. That quick right, potentially a hairpin. They were going to do something in turn 5 to change up the racetrack. You and I talked as soon as you got there, on Saturday morning as well. That didn't come to play. What happened there?
No, not enough barriers, Rob.
Okay. All right.
I went to dinner. I had dinner with the Nielsen's and Dittmer's at the Rock Island Ale House right there on the Holiday Inn.
Yep.
Because it was going to rain, so they all went there. Joined them for dinner, and then I went over to Steve's after that and was like, I need to do track walk. So grabbed a couple people there. I think Chris Olds was with me and somebody else. And the first corner we hit, because it's right there by Steve's, is turn 5. And they're in the process of trying to lay out some barriers. And it just, you know how Roger said that it expanded, it got larger there. It didn't. It really didn't. It may look that way because it's all brand new, but in order to do a proper, I guess, chicane area or whatever you want to call it, like a proper maybe hairpin.
They should have did a hairpin. Yep.
You have to have the barriers in order to do that, and you have to run it a certain way so you do have a 90-degree corner plus a hairpin plus the straightaway to go down to where the normal rest of the racetrack is. And to be honest, Rob, they didn't even have enough barriers for the normal layout.
Okay.
So
yep.
It could be done. It could be done. They needed more barriers, but it's not wide enough, in all honesty.
All right.
Because what they were trying to do was going to narrow everything down to like a 1-lane path. And as we know in temporary racing, if you do that, you're going to get track blockage, and then you're going to get red flags. And
you're right.
In a logistics side of things, it just wasn't going to work out. And I'm glad they kind of saw what I saw, because we didn't have any issues all weekend long in terms of a track being blocked. So that, except for the occasional one time, you'll get the barriers that bounce off and fly across the entire racetrack, but their volunteer staff does an amazing job. So that next time you come around, it's the barriers are at least where they should be close to be.
Well, there you have it. Okay. So Dave, what else we got here for the Paddock Pass? Standing starts, right? A change in the way the Briggs classes started?
Yeah, I think we talked about that with Roger during our face-to-face. They were looking to get away from the Le Mans style standing start, where both sides are colliding in the middle of the racetrack and ending their race before you even get to the line. Mm-hmm. So they did basically, F1 style standing starts for the Briggs categories. So everybody got in the rows, two kart rows for a standing start, and it worked out really well. There weren't any incidents at the start. Now, we didn't have the 40 karts that we used to have starting, not as big as fields. So you don't quite have that the risk factor amped up a lot, but it made it easier. Everybody was going in the same direction. Those who had a better start were able to pull out and work around other drivers. So it's a great move. It's kind of like the I think a lot of the kid karts do it this way. And I if you don't want to do rolling starts, I guess, for the Briggs, which I thought we were going to be doing, but it's definitely a solution to that. So yeah, it was much welcomed. No incidents at the start at all in any of the heat races, any of the main events. So
awesome. Well, there you have it, folks. That's our paddock pass for this edition of the Debrief. When we come back, we'll start diving into the race report, which will be brought to you by Comet Kart Sales. We'll start off with King of the Rock Briggs 206, King of the Rock 100cc, and King of the Streets. We'll talk about new royalty when we get back after this break. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is Sodi Kart. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to a new exclusive importer, the karting distribution led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Sodi Kart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers products in classes from mini karts to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sodi Racing USA has expanded its dealer network over the last year, bringing the Sodi brand to several local clubs and regional programs. Sodi USA by Velocity Racing is the official race team in the United States for the brand, hitting all the major events and series throughout the season. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about the Sodi Kart chassis or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. Ready to step up your game? Joining the Rawlison Performance Group is the obvious choice to take your racing to the next level. Industry-leading driver development is provided by our staff of multi-time national champions, Super Nationals winners, and Team USA members. And at the same time, RPG continues to be a national-level powerhouse race team. Our goal is to help you raise your game and win races. We work with all age groups and are focused on developing those cadet and junior drivers who are ready to take the next step in their racing program. Rawlison Performance Group has set a new standard with our in-house engine program, AVP Engines, headed by Alex Vincent. AVP has become the benchmark in IAME competition. We have the largest OTK inventory that follows our race team, providing trackside parts at all the major events in North America. RPG also offers multilingual support with French, Spanish, and Portuguese-speaking staff. If you want to fight for championships or want to improve your skills and your chances to win, the answer is to call RPG at 503-260-4514. The Rawlison Performance Group. We race to win. Welcome back to episode 155 of the EKN Debrief. David Cole recounting the weekend at the Rock Island Grand Prix, the 30th edition of the event this past Labor Day weekend. Now to jump into the race report presented today by Comet Kart Sales. History, success, family. These are three words that describe Comet Kart Sales, one of the longest tenured karting businesses in the United States. The family-owned operation is located just outside Indianapolis and has provided karts, parts, and services for thousands of racers in the near 6 decades of business. Their brand new updated online store features everything you need, and they are continually adding new parts to their product line. Make sure you head to cometkartsales.com or call them at 317-462-3413 to be part of the Comet Kart Sales family today. All right, David, lots of categories at the Rock Island Grand Prix, so let's drop the hammer and get rolling. We'll start with King of the Rock Briggs 206. Defending winner from 2024 was Jeff Dolian, Chase Jones, Drake Ostrom, and Michael Dittmer, also winning since that race started back in 2021.
Yeah, so King of the Rock Briggs 206 is, they created these events to give the drivers outside King of the Streets to race for royalty. And so it's been a cool addition, kind of the pro headline category. for each event. But this year's King of the Rock Briggs 206 was led in qualifying by Connor Lunn, a 38.521. But it was Riley Scott who picked up the heat race win ahead of Lunn and last year's winner, Jeff Dolian. In the main event, Lunn jumped out to lead from the outside of the front row standing start and led all 15 laps, was pressured all race long by Justin Wishart, but ended up being Lunn holding off the group, which was a five-driver lead pack, with Lunn holding off Wishart by 89 thousandths of a second at the line.
We got Aaron Snyder, Riley Scott, and Tony Nielsen, the rest of the top 5.
Yep.
And how about that, Dave? 5th different winner over the first 5 editions of this category.
Yeah, that's kind of the cool thing about this is all 5 different winners over the 5 times we've had this the King of the Rock Briggs 206. So we've had different crowns, different kings, as you will. I guess Dittmer still holds the reign as the original king, and we like to tease him about that. But yeah, 5 different winners over the 5 editions.
Let's jump into King of the Rock 100cc. Riley Scott, who was quick, as we know, as David talked about, in the King of the Rock Briggs 206, came out of the gate. David, fastest driver at 100cc as well.
Yeah, was certainly quick, had speed, just did not quite have the ability to hold on to his cart. That was kind of the theme for Riley Scott in the 100cc program. Didn't actually make and finish the or the heat race on Saturday, as Joe Adler took the win ahead of Scott Skitchy Barnes and Talon Drake. But so Scott, I think, sat out this race on Sunday because of the headaches and some previous incidents that he had. So we'll talk about that later. So end up being Adler on the pole position with Scott Barnes. But it was Talon Drake who was certainly quickest. Had a bit of an issue in the heat race, so he ended up finishing in 3rd. But in the main event, just jumped out to a big lead. Unfortunately, it began to shrink. He kept looking down at the engine lap after lap as the checkered neared, and as they came around to complete the race on the last lap in the last corner, he was coasting around the outside with his chain finally breaking off his engine.
No.
Nevels came through to lead only that last corner and grabbed the checkered flag to be the winner. Drake actually ended up coasting across the line in the 2nd position. He had such a big lead with the rest of the group kind of shuffling up behind him. So Nevels, who had never been to Rock Island before, got his first win in the King of the Rock 100. And one of the reasons he was there, Rob, and you'll love this, is the cover photo of Alan Rudolph at Rock Island Grand Prix, winning the King of the Streets in the PCR cart. I'm trying to find that cover photo. I'm not sure if it was a Go Race. He was saying it was Go Racing magazine. So I got to start diving into it and figuring out what that cover was. It could be a ski magazine. I don't even know if that's it, possibly it too. But we definitely got to look for this cover.
I'm going through it right now.
Yeah, see, that's why. So I don't know if it's Go Racing or if it's a ski. I'm sure Rudolph was on the cover of Supercart or Shifter Cart Illustrated at the time on the PCR. So
ready? Volume 3, issue 10.
Okay.
The Return of Rudolph.
All right.
I got it.
But is it when he's got the checkered flag?
He does not have the checkered flag, but He's got his hand in the air.
Okay. Yeah. That was yeah, because he was saying something about he was holding the checkered flag, blah blah blah. So
yeah, you're right. Franklin Motorsports PCR powered by a Yamaha.
Yeah. So wait, what that was what year?
Whatever.
Well, you said what volume?
I said volume 3, issue 10. So that would have been probably 2001, right?
No.
Why not?
That would have been like 2000.
No, I started in
99.
No, I started in 98, bud.
Oh, 98. So so it'd be 2000 would be volume 3.
2001, David.
There you go. What?
2001.
Yeah, but if you started in 98, that would be volume 1. 99 would be volume 2.
No, I started at the end of 98.
Oh,
7 issues. One was 98. 6 was 6 at 6. So that was it. Was
so your opening volume was 2 years. Gotcha. All right.
Yes, it was. I launched it at Super Nationals 99, and then the first volume went through 99 as well. So there you have it. That's good though. Cool stuff for TJ Nevels. How old was he? Like 6?
No, he's a Masters guy, so
All right.
Yeah, maybe 8.
Right. I gotta go scroll through and look at this. Yeah. So, you know what? No. And you can see, does it have a checkered flag? No, it doesn't have a checkered flag in the article either. I'll take a picture of this and send it over to you. That's good stuff.
The great thing is I'm getting all the stuff from Go Racing Magazine too, so we'll be able to go through that.
That's amazing. All right, let's go on to King of the Streets right now, David. Past couple of years, Andrew Budashow has been able to get the win there, but Sketchy Barnes, who's been chasing that crown for the King of the Streets for years, qualified on pole to get things underway.
Yeah, this was the return of King of the Streets after missing out last year due to numbers. We had, I believe, 6 in the pro or in King of the Streets. So 5 drivers actually that were going to race. Ended up being only 3 in the main event. Scott Sketchy Barnes was challenged by Lance Lane in the heat race. So we thought we were going to have a good race with Aiden Leiber making his first ever King of the Streets start in the 3rd spot. But Lane suffered a incident in warm-up on Sunday morning, so he was a DNS. And then Leiber actually had a stuck engine in the open shifter on Saturday, so his weekend was done in the shifter category. So this only left 3 drivers in the main event. It was actually cut down to 10 laps because there was only the 3 drivers. And Scott Sketchy Barnes was able to finally secure that King of the Streets title for the first time.
Yeah, Brian Wake finishing 2nd, Jacob Tank in 3rd. There is your wrap-up of the 3 King categories this year's Rock Island Grand Prix. When we get back after this break, the Comet Kart Sales Race Report will continue. We'll go Briggs 206 Heavy, Briggs 206 Heavy 2, and we'll look at the Briggs 206 Medium categories as well. CRG is one of the most iconic brands in the world of karting with a never-ending focus on winning. Kart CRG USA is the North American distributor for all CRG products. Based outside of Houston, Texas, Kart CRG USA supports CRG dealers across the continent, reaching every corner of North America. The CRG KT5 has been designed specifically for the US market. The KT5 is the perfect fit for X30, KA100, and other tag platforms, featuring the new Aero package and VEN 11B braking system. For cadet drivers, the CRG Black Beer continues to log in victories and championships across the globe, and is utilized in both 2-cycle and 4-cycle competition here in North America. Longtime CRG drivers will be happy to know the CRG Road Rebel, the standard in quality and performance, continues its excellence for those in the shifter kart ranks. The CRG FS4 chassis is the ideal choice for racers in Briggs & Stratton competition, with numerous podium results across classes at the CKNA divisional and national events. From pure racing to karting entertainment, many tracks, both indoor and outdoor, have made the switch to the CRG Centurion rental kart line. 5 different models for both gas-powered or electric engines can fit any track's needs for a new rental kart fleet. Kart CRG USA has a full inventory of rental karts available for new and existing facilities. For more information on the CRG product line, head to kartcrgusa.com, or to inquire about a North American dealer near you, please email us at sales@kartcrg.com. In racing, experience is priceless. Franklin Motorsports is a leader in the karting industry, and with over 30 years of combined karting experience, we can provide you with everything you need to go racing. With a large online product selection, select track support events, and a wide variety of shop services, Franklin Motorsports is your complete karting source. Check out our online store at franklinkart.com, where all of our products are just a mouse click away. We continue to add to our growing product selection on the online store, and we ship daily to ensure products get to you quickly. We specialize in IAME engines, Tilt Seats, the Ceramic product line, Driveline branded products, Briggs & Stratton engines, Smoker Performance sprockets, OTK products, AIM, MG tires, and of course, the championship-winning Merlin chassis. In our online store, you'll find a variety of items to fill your karting needs. Franklin Motorsports is also known for our wide variety of services and is home to Innovative Engine Works by FMS, our in-house engine service department. Frame straightening, kart prep, and dyno testing are all services offered regularly at Franklin Motorsports. Be sure to stop by the Franklin trailer during the United States Pro Kart Series events as the official trackside vendor. For all things karting, visit franklinkart.com. Welcome back to this edition of the EKN Debrief. Rob Howard alongside David Cole, episode number 155. This is the race report presented by Comet Kart Sales, talking about the Rock Island Grand Prix 30th edition this past Labor Day weekend. David Cole was down trackside covering the event, of course, for the website, all on social media. Did a bunch of racing himself. We'll dive into that a little bit later on in the show. Dave, let's start here with Briggs 206 Heavy for this segment. Let's talk about qualifying and roll through who came away with the race win.
Yeah, Briggs 206 Heavy, that was the first class in the order. So actually that was a bit of a disadvantage for some of the competitors because as we talked about, qualifying was in the second round of heat races. So this category didn't have essentially a practice session before qualifying. But local driver Joseph Rapp was able to put in a 39.734, and he was shuffled back at the start, kind of had a bad start, and this allowed veteran driver Tony Nielsen to come away with the heat race win. In the main event, it was Lund and Nielsen that were 1-2 throughout the race. Lund essentially leading every lap but the last one, with Tony Nielsen able to pull off a last lap pass, securing his the victory, becoming the first winner on the Sunday main events, winning the Travis DeVrent Memorial event. This was his first time winning the class since 2015, and it also marked his 27th career victory at the Rock Island Grand Prix.
Wow, just over a second, the victory for Nielsen over Rapp, Connor Lund, Justin Wishart, and Jeff Dolian rounding out the top five in that category. Like many of the classes at Rock Island, they'll run two classes for one group. That way, drivers are going to get more seat time and be able to stay in the same cart, same weight. So they ran a Briggs 206 Heavy 2. Same went with medium, a medium 1 and a medium 2. Qualifying for Briggs 206 Heavy 2, not surprising, Tony Nielsen was quick as well. As we know, one of the best drivers we've seen ever at the Rock Island Grand Prix, 38.805, a little bit quicker than the lap laid down by Rapp in qualifying. David Connor Lund, though, came out with the heat race victory.
Yeah, as we talked about, this was the first time a lot of these karts hit the racetrack, so almost a full second quicker because Briggs 206 Heavy 2 was later in the order.
Yep.
And this was actually the main event, one of the main events on Saturday. It was something new for Rock Island, moving some of the main events to Saturday. So this was a one-day show in Briggs 206 Heavy. So now Nielsen, fast time in qualifying, as you said, and then Connor Lund picking up the win in the heat race. And then at the end of the day, ended up being a great battle for the race win. Lund led early before not Thomas, because I kept saying it in the video. Justin Wishart took the lead on lap 5. But on the final lap, it was Joseph Rapp that was able to steal the lead on the final circuit and being able to pick up his first career Rock Island Grand Prix victory, becoming the 7th different winner since 2015.
Yeah, big win there for Joseph Rapp, just 0.07 of a second ahead of Jeff Dolian, Lund, Wishart, and Nielsen rounding out the top 5 there. Moving into the Briggs 206 medium category, very similar names, drivers running in the different categories. As we know, Rock Island drivers will run 3, 4, 5, 6 or more different categories on a weekend. A new name, though, David, qualifying P1 for the Briggs 206 medium category, Casey Jacobs with a 38.379.
Yeah, again, a little bit later in the order in terms of qualifying / practice. So Jacob's able to take advantage of that with putting in the fast time. But it was Tony Nielsen picking up the heat race win on the day ahead of Ashton Wheeler and Justin Wishart. In the main event on Sunday, the top 5 was able to pull away, and eventually Tony Nielsen was shuffled back into P6 and lost the lead draft. Riley Scott was able to put himself to the lead on the final lap, but in a defensive move, got pushed wide at turn 5. Justin Wishart was able to complete the pass going into the final corner and was able to come across the line first, becoming the 8th different winner since 2012 in Briggs 206 medium.
Bunch of different winners in these categories. That's pretty awesome. As David had mentioned, and I mentioned as well, there's a medium 2 as well for that category. Tony Nielsen, again, coming out of the gate with the fastest lap in qualifying for Briggs 206 medium 2, a 38.549. David, was this class run on Saturday as well, or is this a Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, this was a Saturday only program as well, too. So got the qualifying done. As you said, Tony Nielsen, a 38.549. Heat race win actually went to Justin Wishart, with Nielsen back to second and Ashton Wheeler in third. And then in the main event, the 15-lapper was a wire-to-wire performance by Justin Wishart, pulling out the race win. Certainly some stuff happened on the last lap because it was close all race long, for Wishart crossing the line first by just over a second, becoming a second 2-time winner in the category.
Yeah, he defends his victory from 2024 and sweeps both of the Briggs 206 medium categories on the weekend. So great job there for Justin Wishart. All right, another break. When we come back, we're going to talk Briggs 206 Masters and Briggs 206 Light. More to come here on the Comet Kart Sales Race Report when we get back. There's a new hot button name in American safety equipment, Stilo USA. Every product with Stilo is focused on safety, comfort, and function. Stilo USA is happy to provide you with the proper safety apparel to keep you protected on the track, and their karting lineup is second to none. New to the product lineup is the Stilo Carbon CMR karting helmet. Designed to revolutionize your karting experience, this carbon fiber crafted helmet is among the lightest on the market, without compromising on safety. The Stilo ST5 KRT karting helmet is manufactured using a lightweight and extremely strong composite material. The KRT provides an excellent fit and comfort level due to its dual density interior foam lining, and it's equipped with a symmetrical visor that offers excellent vision and an effortless central visor locking system. The Stilo ST5 CMR standard was developed jointly by the FIA Institute and Snell Memorial Foundation to ensure safer and lighter weight helmets for younger karters. Drivers rave about the superior comfort levels, lightweight construction, and the unparalleled field of vision that is perfect for the youth helmet line. Stilo didn't stop with their helmets either. The newly developed Carbon Curva rib protector is unlike any other on the market, with a form-fitting solution to offer superior protection. The Carbon Curva 8870 version is FIA homologated and includes a chest protector. Head to StiloHelmets.com to review these products and many more to keep you safe on the track. Stilo. Any competition, one helmet. Motor mounts. They keep your engine attached to your chassis, right? The answer is, they're much more important than that. Your motor mount is critical in transferring 100% of the power from your engine through to your tires and the racetrack. You need this to get on the podium each and every time you race. Odenthal Racing Products is here for you, providing the best motor mounts on the karting market today, all designed to make sure you're using all the horsepower you pay for. Odenthal Racing Products is a family-owned and operated business with decades of karting experience in providing products with unmatched quality and value for our racing community. The Pro Series mount for 2-cycle engines, which is available in 0, 5, and 8-degree inclinations, provides a rigid structure to help keep vibration to a minimum without adding too much weight to your setup. The 4-cycle Easy Set system is one of the most popular mounts for the Briggs & Stratton 206 power plant. Multiple mounting holes provide the most adjustability depending on your chassis and seat placement. To ensure a tight fit to your chassis, our ORP wedge clamps get the job done, and they feature a number of design updates to provide a lower profile and lighter weight. The clamps are available from 28mm to 32mm in both standard and Euro style sizes. And now, Odenthal has also revolutionized the karting industry with its new Easy GP camera mounting system. Designed to mount anywhere on your chassis with 1 or 2 cameras, the ORP Easy GP camera mount is your solution to capture that onboard winning moment. Head to odenthalracing.com and find a dealer near you. Odenthal Racing Products, proudly made in the USA. Back at it now here for this edition of the EKN Debrief. Rob Howden alongside David Coles. We talk all about this year's Rock Island Grand Prix, the 30th running of the event. Back into the race report here, presented today by Comet Kart Sales. Let's go to Briggs 206 Masters. David talked a lot about the fact that Tony Nielsen was going into this weekend looking to potentially either tie Gary Lawson for the most wins ever at Rock Island, or maybe even pull away as the outright leader. He ends up qualifying on the pole for Briggs 206 Masters.
Well, the odds were kind of in his favor, racing in 11 categories on the weekend. So that does help. That does help.
Can I throw this out there that I qualified second to Tony Nielsen in the very first Briggs 206 Masters race?
I mean, yeah, that's certainly a mark.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you not, right?
Yeah, right. I think I was only 44 years old, I think, or something like that. I was a little older than him.
He was probably what? 30,
he was 30.
30 and 2 days or something
Probably
like that.
Something like that. But yeah, Nielsen 38.990, again, qualifying on the pole.
Yeah, was able to hold that top spot through the heat race win ahead of Jeff Dolian, the 2021 winner, and Andrew Coulter. In the main event, Nielsen led the first 14 laps, and it ended up becoming a 3-wide move at the final corner. It was a great, bold attempt by Jeremiah Davis. Went all the way to the inside as they came out of 5, going into 6. Unfortunately, the grip level did not hold. Put himself right into the wall on the exit of turn 6. This allowed Jeff Dolian to slip the over-under on everyone. And come away with the race win, reaching the checkered flag first by just 55 thousandths of a second ahead of Andrew Coulter.
Well, I shout out for Davis, giving it a shot on the inside. Shallow entry is going to be a wide exit. Just not able to make it. We've seen lots of guys do that. Try that move to the inside, push a little wide on the exit, get into that wall. But again, that's what you do when you're trying to score a race win. Big one for Dolian, who won the event back in 2021 as well, the Briggs 206 Masters category. So shout out there to Jeff Dolian for coming away with another victory, adding to his career total. Let's go to Briggs 206 Light. Last year, this this category, the light category, made its debut. Skitchy Barnes getting the win last year. But again, David, Tony Nielsen out of the gate, qualified on pole again.
Yeah, qualified on pole again, 38.450 to lead the way in this category. Came away with the race win in the heat race ahead of Justin Wishart and Jack Moore. But it ended up being a 2-driver battle with Nielsen and Wishart pushing away from the rest of the field. And Wishart got the jump at the start of the race and was able to hold on for all 15 laps to score a third victory on the weekend for Wishart.
Yeah, great weekend all told for Justin Wishart with the three wins David mentioned there. Tony Nielsen, Rapp, Moore, and Brady Tyler rounding out the top 5 in that category. Another time for a break. When we get back, let's dive into some Margay Ignite action here. Obviously, Senior 1, Senior 2, Masters. We'll have another break, then come back and talk a little bit about the 100cc Ignite program as well. But when we get back after this break, Ignite Senior. All over the karting world, everyone knows OTK is the gold standard for quality and performance. In the United States, OTK USA is the source for all things OTK. 8 brands under the OTK USA banner are winning races and championships across the country in national programs like the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour, the Challenge of the Americas, the SCUSA Pro Tour and Winter Series, the United States Pro Kart Series, and even more programs throughout the country. And OTK products are also front and center on the podium of club and regional races from coast to coast. Tony Kart, Cosmic, Esprit, EOS, and Red Speed have been joined by the Gallard, LN Racing Kart, and CS55 brands. To learn more about a specific product line or to find the OTK USA dealer near you, visit otkusa.com. Specific chassis territories are still available, so kart shops interested in adding a winning component to their product lineups can contact OTK USA directly. OTK, the gold standard of karting. It's a storied brand in karting, and it's got a new home in North America. Energy Course Americas is the official distributor for the Energy Course karting chassis and product line here in the US and Canada. The Energy Course brand was founded in 1997 out of passion and skill. Manufactured in Italy, Energy Course has gained national and international recognition with success in all different categories. Energy Course Americas offers an online store for the entire product line of the Energy Course brand, including complete racing packages, spare parts, race gear, clothing, and more, providing an excellent shopping experience. Race the brand that 9 of the 20 drivers currently in Formula One competed on during their karting careers. Visit energycourse.io to see the latest deals and to learn more about Energy Course Americas. Back here with the debrief. My name is Rob Howden. David Cole joining me here, having been trackside at the Rock Island Grand Prix throughout the Labor Day weekend. Back in it with our Comet Kart Sales Race Report. Let's dive into Ignite Senior right now. And again, a lot of these drivers we've talked about throughout the weekend running both in the Briggs, straight Briggs categories and the Ignite Senior class. But it was Riley Scott, David, who came out of the gate in the Ignite Senior category, the Senior 1, qualifying on the pole with a 40.322.
Yeah, Riley Scott, a former two-time winner in the category in 2022 and 2023, and was able to hold the top spot in the heat race on Saturday ahead of Ashton Wheeler and Tony Nielsen. The main event on Sunday was a 6-driver lead pack. Ashton Wheeler led the first 14 laps, and then it was Tony Nielsen going from third to first on the final circuit to be able to cross the line first, winning his first time in this category, becoming the 9th different winner since this category began back in 2015. And with the win, became tied with Gary Lawson for the all-time win list at the Rock Island Grand Prix with 28 victories.
That's amazing. Nielsen with the win by a 10th over Vansel, Wheeler, Scott, and Thomas Sherrick in there as well. So obviously a very impressive top 5 there. They did it again, David. As we said, there's 2 categories for senior. You were running in both of these categories as well. Ignite Senior 2, Tony Nielsen qualifying pole there as well.
Yeah, again, this one was later in the order, so a full half a second quicker in qualifying for Tony Nielsen compared to Riley Scott. But it was Scott picking up the heat race win at the end of Sunday. I believe this is the one that Tony Nielsen ended up in a wall in turn 4. So he was a DNF in this race as Ashton Wheeler and Justin Vansel capped off the top 3. In the main event, it was Riley Scott, Justin Vansel, and Thomas Sherrick that led early on. Thomas Sherrick actually went into the wall in turn 1, I want to say on lap 3 or 4. So kind of shuffled up the order there, but Ashton Wheeler took control of the lead from that point. But Riley Scott came back to lead at the white flag, but a lot of action around the race course, including 3 wide going into turn 2. So a lot of jockeying for position as they came around to the checker flag. It ended up being Talon Drake coming all the way from 5th at the start of the last lap to 1st to take his first Ignite Senior victory.
Vansel 2nd, Wheeler 3rd, Scott 4th, some dude named David Cole in 5th. If Drake went from 5th to 1st, what happened to you? Dude, you were right into it. I was watching that on live timing.
Well, this was the 3rd race of the day, Robin, as you continue to hear, like my Facebook post said, I was great for 10 laps, 15 no.
Yeah,
so,
you and I were texting each other before the race. I'm asking you how that last race is going to go. You were saying your ribs were a bit sore, and you're like, I'll go as long as I can. But, dude, end up P5. That's pretty solid.
First off, I went purple on lap 3. So
early.
I have that. No. Hey, Scott Kopp's done it before in X30 Pro. Why can't I do it in Ignite Senior? Now, mind you,
did you have the fast lap of the race?
No, just lap 3.
Your purple lap.
I was purple in the race. At
lap
I
see.
3.
At that time.
At that time, I went purple.
All right.
Come on now.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm 25 pounds overweight going purple. Let's go. Come on.
Props
yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
You could have fasted all weekend and probably saved yourself 5 pounds.
Actually, I didn't eat all day on Saturday. So
of course you didn't.
Yeah. Well, until the end, and then I ate a lot. So
what happened? So what happened on?
It was Vansel. So Wheeler, Vansel, and Riley Scott was up front. I was with them after that. After Shirek gotten into the wall, but eventually I kind of, lost pace. So Drake and Tony Nielsen actually were working together. They went by me going into turn 2. So they actually caught up into this lead pack. And the only reason I ended up 5th was because Nielsen ended up in the wall in that last corner as well too. So, technically I was a 6th place driver that ended up in the 5th spot. So, it was a pretty wild race. Like I said, I thought I was going to be able to hang on, but I just didn't quite have the physical attributes to do that.
That's how I felt last year, man. I hit the wall, like I said, about 10 laps into all the races last year. Last year's track was bumpy, as we know. I'm not sure if David mentioned it or not, but 5th different winner in the class since 2019. Scotty Barnes, Tony Nielsen, Riley Scott, Pistol Pete Vetter, all winners since the Ignite 2 category got added in. But David was in the lead pack throughout the entire weekend, which is great. Let's go to Ignite Masters, David. You actually had a really good run in the heat race. It was Trevor Vansel on the pole with a 41.118. He ended up winning the heat race. You were P2 in the heat race. What happened there?
Everybody wrecked behind me. So
there you go.
That certainly helps. Skitchy Barnes made contact with a barrier, as did Tony Nielsen. He pushed turn 5 a little bit too wide, and it sucked him right in. So his Ignite cart got a workout all weekend long. Skitchy Barnes actually had to change frames because he did smash that one up pretty good.
Dude, you rolled yours to the scale every session. Good man.
Yeah, the only thing I had were a little scrape marks on the right side, but I think this was one of the races that I did it because you don't quite know where the barriers are going to be every lap, so you do kind of make a little contact with them. But yeah, started 3rd in the heat race, ended up finishing 2nd in the heat at the end. Starting the main event from the outside of the front row, slipped back to 3rd at the start. So it was Vansel. I can never say his name. Excuse me.
What?
Andrew Coulter.
Oh, cool.
Into 2nd at the start. Aaron Snyder was up there. So we were all kind of jostling around for 2nd behind Vansel. I was trying to push Vansel away. We couldn't get away because Snyder and Coulter kept close. And then all of a sudden, Skitchy Barnes and Tony Nielsen came up from starting dead last, got themselves mixed up in the with about 5 laps to go. That's when I kind of lost the lead pack, and
David hit the wall.
I hit the wall, kind of was just watching the race from behind. So Vansel led all for the first 14 laps, and that's when things went crazy. Nielsen went for the lead, and he got the lead going, I believe, either in turn 2 or turn 4. Barnes slipped himself into the 2nd spot. Vansel fell back to 3rd. And then I think Nielsen tried a defensive move into the final corner. Barnes pulled the over-under, was able to beat him to the line. Like it almost looked like 3 wide from where I was. I know Barnes went all the way to the inside, nearly took out the flagman who was on the inside of the racetrack rather than the outside.
Yeah.
And it was a close finish with Scott Skitchy Barnes picking up his first ever Ignite Masters victory by just 51 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, that's close. Nielsen 2nd, Vansel 3rd, Snyder 4th, Coulter 5th. Were you 6th, Dave?
I was 6th, yes.
Boy, man. Well done. Well done. First win in the class.
Should have won it, damn it.
Should have won it. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. First win in the category for Skitchy Barnes. Of course, Nielsen has won 4 of them. 4th different winner, though, since 2017. All right. A couple more breaks to go? Yeah, a couple more breaks left. We get back after this break. We'll talk Ignite Senior, Ignite 100cc Senior and Masters. And then we'll go the 100cc Senior category and Open.
Just say 100 as well. Just say 100.
Ignite 100.
There you go.
Senior. We'll be right back, folks. The new face of competitive karting in the Pacific Northwest region is RaceLab. The full-service karting operation is located at the state-of-the-art Kartplex facility in Oliver, British Columbia, Canada, providing everything you need to hit the track or put yourself in a successful driver development program. RaceLab is the official North American distributor for the TB Kart chassis brand, providing the full range of models from kid kart to shifter kart. Villeneuve Racing Karts is their flagship product, available only through RaceLab. The brand carries the name of Formula One champion and Indianapolis 500 winner Jacques Villeneuve, with each model produced by TB Kart. Kartplex, the home of RaceLab, is situated on the grounds of the Area 27 Motorsports Park. From full arrive and drive TB Kart rentals to leagues and competition karting, the facility provides a new home to developing the future stars of motorsports, all beginning at Kartplex with RaceLab. Follow RaceLab on social media on Facebook and Instagram, or load up their website at www.theracelab.ca to learn more about TB Kart and Villeneuve Racing Karts. RaceLab. Race with us, win with us. Winning takes top quality equipment, flawless preparation, experienced coaching, and passion. And at Team GFC, we live our passion. Developed by American karting champion Gary Carlton, the GFC chassis has become one of the newest brands to reach the top of the podium in North America. GFC has garnered victories and championships at all levels of the sport since its debut at the end of 2018. Shifter kart drivers are at the front of the field in the GT14 frame, with the SS31 a consistent contender in tag and 100cc competition. Team GFC has arrive and drive packages available for all categories, including the mini and micro classes utilizing the GFC RR5 cadet chassis. These young pilots have the opportunity to be part of the Team GFC Young Driver Development Program. Learn from one of the best American karters with 28 years racing at the highest levels in the sport, offering personalized training on and off the track. Follow GFC Karting on Facebook and Instagram, or click over to gfckarting.com to learn more about joining Team GFC. GFC, live your passion. Back at it here. A couple more segments to go to cap off this edition of the Debrief as we break down everything that happened at this year's Rock Island Grand Prix. The race report brought to you by Comet Kart Sales into the Ignite 100 senior category. David, let's get rolling with qualifying.
Yeah, Aiden Leiber at 37.424 in this inaugural class. So he is actually picking up the first qualifying honor, picked up the first heat race win for this category, and also picked up the first main event for this category at the Rock Island Grand Prix. So Leiber was able to pull off the event sweep, beat out Thomas Schierick in the heat race. Thomas Schierick had issues in the main event, so it ended up being Scott Sketchy Barnes that was the lead challenger for Leiber. It was multiple lead changes, and I believe this was the last heat race of the event, so it was fun to watch with these two kind of going back and forth. Barnes led at the white flag, but it was Leiber able to get around on the final circuit and cross the line first ahead of the multi-time winner at the Rock Island Grand Prix to score his first ever Rock Trophy.
Yeah, big one there for Leiber. Jimmy Jones coming home in third, Robert Lynn in fourth, and Dylan Turnbull, who is third in the heat race, coming home P5. They had a Masters edition as well for the Ignite 100 category, and Tony Nielsen was a part of that one. Again, a legend driver at the Rock Island Grand Prix. 37.867 qualifies on pole. Dave won the heat race as well over Sketchy Barnes and Keith Scharf, but things got a little more exciting in the main event.
Yeah, well, it didn't get real exciting because Tony Nielsen had a rear bumper break, so he was forced off the racetrack with the meatball flag. So this essentially gave Barnes the clear shot to the checkered flag. So Barnes was able to go on to win the race with unchallenged to become the inaugural winner of the Ignite 100 Masters division.
Robert Lynn, Mikkel Henderson, Dylan Turnbull, and Tony Nielsen rounding out the top five there. And as we head into 100cc senior category, let's talk about that class a little bit, David.
Yeah, Kyle Kraus was the top qualifier, a name we know familiar. He used to be, you know him really well because you were a purchaser of an RV from him, I believe.
I bought his dad's RV. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So Kraus used to work for OGP back in the day, done a lot of racing himself, and has lost a lot of weight and gotten back into shape.
Yeah.
Done a great job at that. So decided to come back to the Rock. I think he said since the early 90s.
Wow.
He raced there, but came as a spectator after that. So quite a haul for him to be able to set fast time qualifying at 36.426. But it was Talon Drake who ended up being the quickest driver in the 100cc category. He came away with the heat race win, and this was after the King of the Rock 100. So a little bit of redemption for him as he was able to take the lead on lap 4 from TJ Nevels, who won the King of the Rock, and walked away from the rest of the field, driving away to a 5-second margin of victory to score the victory. He was challenged early by Riley Scott, but Scott made contact with the barriers. As we talked about, he just could not keep the cart under him all weekend long, kind of like a dirt car. So made contact with the turn 5 barriers, bent the axle. So that ended his race, and Drake never looked back, driving away to a second straight victory in the category.
Yeah, backed it up. His win from 2024, Ethan Leiber coming home in second, Joe Adler third, Kyle Kraus fourth, and Matt Graham rounding out the top 5. From 100cc, let's go to open shifter, final category that we'll talk about here before we go to our final break in the action. Open shifter, Aiden Leiber did a lot of racing in different categories over the weekend. He was qualified on pole with a 35.290.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did suffer that blown engine in this heat race, so that ended his weekend. Scott Skitchy Barnes went on to win the heat race ahead of Lance Lang, and as I talked about, Lane was unable to compete the rest of the day from a Sunday morning incident during practice. This allowed Skitchy Barnes to go unchallenged for the race win, which became his 4th time winning in this category.
Yeah, Brian Wake, Jacob Tank, and Ronald Merrill rounding out the 4 drivers who made it to the checkered flag. All right, that's it for the race report brought to you by Comet Card Sales. We get back, we'll wrap things up, folks. Final segment here on this edition of the Debrief. Take advantage of the deals available through RTX USA Group, an official distributor for Rotax karting products in the United States. RTX USA Group provides Rotax engines, Mojo tires, and XPS products to dealers and competitors in the southern U.S. states, from their base in Florida all the way to California. Take advantage of their engine purchase offer, which gives you 2 sets of Mojo D5 tires when you purchase a Rotax Max Evo or the Rotax DD2 Max Evo. For those looking to add a Rotax Micro Max Evo MY20 or a Rotax Mini Max Evo MY-I20 to their lineup, those customers will be provided with 2 sets of Mojo D2 tires. Customers who purchase a Rotax Junior Max Evo won't be left out, also receiving 2 sets of Mojo D2 tires. RTX is also introducing the new Mojo Club, with opportunities to save on Mojo tires by bundling them together. Learn more about becoming a dealer or joining the Mojo Club by visiting rtxkarting.com today.
Ever dream of competing in an international race against the best drivers in the world? This is your chance. The 2025 Rotax Racing Club California Championship Series, operated by Formula KFX, is an official qualifying event for the new Rotax Racing Club International Finals. The winner of the California Championship Series will receive a free spot in the 2026 International Finals event in Belgium. Your journey to the world stage begins in Sonoma, California on September 20th. Additional rounds of competition will take place on October 11th, November 15th, and December 13th at Sonoma Raceway Karting Center. Juniors, seniors, and masters drivers will battle it out in equally prepared Burrell Art N35X chassis karts with Rotax 125 Junior Max Evo engines. Secure your spot today in the Rotax Racing Club California Championship Series. Register at formulakfx.com/championship.
Back at it, folks. Let's cap off this edition of the Debrief, episode number 155. We'll wrap things up and give you the EKN Trackside live race calendar as well. David, wrap it up for me here. You were trackside throughout the weekend, and what you said was a nice weather weekend, some Great racing. Not the numbers we would ever hope for the Rock Island Grand Prix, which was, of course, in its heyday, was one of the absolute best races every year. But with so much racing going on, as we've talked about so many times, that the race has kind of dropped off in terms of numbers. Give us your thoughts on the wrap up.
Yeah, only one red flag all weekend long during the racing activities. So that was a positive. It was a kind of a scary incident that involved Keith Scharf of Gateway Motor Kartplex down at in St. Louis. Luckily, he was only walked away with a concussion and a couple scrapes. Just an unfortunate incident that took him away for the rest of the weekend. That was during the Ignite 100 senior race, heat race on Saturday. So certainly not what the situation you want to see, but thankfully everybody was able to walk away. And again, kind of wrapping up the win total, as we talked about, Tony Nielsen tying Gary Lawson, the Rock Island Grand Prix Emperor, at 28 wins of all time at the Rock Island Grand Prix. And Scott Skitchy Barnes picking up 4 on the weekend, moved himself into that second spot at 14. So he's got to double up in order to catch up to Lawson and Tony Nielsen.
Tim Getch and Michael Dittmer at 12 wins, Jason Birdsell and Kyle Wigan at 11. But man, 28 victories apiece for Gary Lawson and Tony Nielsen. No doubt the superstars of the Rock Island Grand Prix. Let's cap off this edition of the Debrief as we do a look at the EKN Trackside Live race calendar presented today by AIM Sports. From its early days, AIM Sports has tailored its innovations to provide precise insights, allowing racers to fine-tune their strategies and push their limits. Fast forward to today, and they are excited to celebrate 30 years of Micron by introducing the latest evolution in karting data loggers, the Micron 6. Designed with cutting-edge features, including a 25 Hz GPS with mil-spec precision, a 6-axis inertial platform, shift lights and alarms, temperature inputs, and many more features. It's perfect for karting enthusiasts looking to enhance their game on the track. Join the AIM Sports community today and equip yourself with the Micron 6 to take your karting experience to the next level. Visit aimsports.com to learn more. AIM Sports, 30 years of Micron. All right, David, into this run to kind of cap off the year. You know, a lot of the major, or at least all of the major national championship programs are essentially done and dusted. I think the Stars Championship has one more race still to come. But for where we're going to be with the EKN Trackside program, we are going to, first and foremost, at the end of September, the 25th to the 28th, it's the 9th running of the Cup Karts North America Grand Nationals at Newcastle Motorsports Park.
Yeah, excited to get back to Newcastle, our unofficial home, and be part of what will be a spectacular Grand Nationals 9 for Cup Karts North America. It should be an amazing event. Again, you've already entered, so we get to watch you get back behind the wheel for the first time in 2025, right?
Yeah, I haven't driven anything all year long.
So yeah, that'll be fun. I'll be doing the coverage all weekend long. So changing that up for the first time ever, because I've raced every year that we've gone. So this will be a work weekend only, and we'll throw some new things at it in terms of video and maybe live stuff that we'll be doing.
I love it, yeah. And I'm only running just the Legends class this year, so focusing that down. So we'll be able to provide some more coverage, more interviews. Lots coming there. I've actually got the Airbnb for 2 weeks, David, because we're coming right back the next weekend for the MG Tires 200 at Newcastle, the 200 lap endurance race. $25,000 to win, $100,000 total purse, with money going to the Briggs race as well. The Briggs 206 race, or some support classes. It's going to be a move up from last year's event. Remember those of you been around the sport for a long time. That's the old RoboPong 200. They brought it back last year as the Mark Harrison Memorial 200. Now the MG Tires 200. And I think it's going to take a step forward, as expected. A lot more drivers entering. We're going to be on top of that, David, over the coming weeks. Let people know who is getting entered. We already got one driver who won the race, the final round of the year in IndyCar at Newcastle. Joseph Newgarden will be part of this event, the MG Tires 200.
Yeah, today is 30 days away from that event, starting on October 3rd. As you said, Joseph Newgarden already confirmed. Logan Adams will be his teammate once again. The defending race winners with the Brandon Jarzakak racing team, including Paulie Massimino and James Overbeck, will be there. Just waiting on some more confirmed names big names that we want to promote there and get that out there. And yeah, the Briggs 206 100 lapper that'll be on Saturday, and then you got the KA Junior, Briggs Junior, and Mini Swift support classes that'll also be running on the weekend as well.
And running for money too, right?
And running for money, $2,500 to win in all three of those support categories.
That's awesome. A couple of weeks later after that, David will be back again at Newcastle Motorsports Park for the Rotax Max Challenge U.S. Trophy Final. Again, 3 big races in a row for us, David, at NCMP.
Yeah, Newcastle. I mean, it's just home. So yeah, no, Rotax race. Yeah, the final Rotax Grand Finals tickets will be up for grabs in the USA. So we're hoping to see some international competition. We saw a list of the number of different race teams that'll be there. There's at least 12 race teams providing either Rotax engine service programs or even arrive and drive opportunities as well. So should be another good one for the Rotax program.
Obviously, to cap things off, end of October, then into November with the Supercarts USA Super Nationals. David, I'm going to make my first trip to the Rock Cup USA Rock Vegas event at the Rio Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. I'll be a part of the broadcast team for that one there. We just got that put together most recently, but I know you've been to Rock Vegas once before, but first time, I think, for both of us going together.
Yeah, first time both of us will be there. I was there, I want to say, in 2019 to cover that event. But yeah, excited to get back to the Rio. We've been there many times, but the Rock Vegas event is certainly different, certainly unique. They have that new Rock GP or Rock SV Pro category that's going to be running with sold out 40 drivers in that division. Spec engine program where they're all running the same spec engine. A very fast engine from what we've heard about it. So a lot of cool things to be able to cover. Obviously Halloween during that week, so that'll be quite unique as well too. So yeah, a lot of things to come from Rock Vegas. Yeah,
looking forward to it, folks. That is the EKN Trackside Live Race Calendar brought to you by AIM Sports. The events we've got happening essentially over the next 2 months. Of course, after that, capping things off with the Supercarts USA Super Nationals in mid-November out at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. After that, I think my only trip after that is the PRI show in December. So this season 2025 coming to an end with the big races, of course, at the end. You've got the CKN Grand Nationals, Rock Vegas, the MG Tires 200. So many fantastic races coming to cap things off. And of course, we'll do our best to bring you all the coverage. David, final thoughts before we wrap up this edition of the Debrief?
Yeah, 20th time going to Rock Island Grand Prix, wrapped up. My 13th time driving. Again, it's about making memories. That's what our trip to Rock Island has always been. You know, obviously provide coverage of the event, but more so just kind of living in the moment. It was very challenging, obviously, to always race and cover the event at the same time. But luckily, Rock Island, it's a little bit easier with the logistics of everything there. And thankfully, with Margay Racing providing me the Ignite cart to race in all 3 categories. And again, I jump in that thing, and if I can make it fast, anybody can make it fast.
Yeah, it's just such a good program. They're a Arrive and Drive program, folks. If you ever want to get to an event you haven't been to before, whether it's Quincy or Elkhart or Rock Island.
Daytona.
Yeah, 100%. Daytona as well. Great opportunity through their Arrive and Drive program. You roll up, you go racing, you have a great time, awesome people. You and I cannot speak more highly of everybody at the Ignite program and Margay Racing. That caps things off, folks, for this edition of the EKN Debrief, episode 155. Man, we've been doing this for quite a while. Again, lots more to come. Outlap Preview Podcast, the Debrief Podcast, as we talked about all these EKN Trackside Live events coming throughout the end of September through October and into November. We are going to be trackside a lot still before this 2025 season is done. We do thank you for tuning into this edition of the show. Appreciate it. Shout out to everybody from Rock Island for always opening their arms for us when we come to that event. And again, big thank you to everybody at Margay for making sure they took care of David throughout this particular edition of the event. That wraps things up, folks, for this show here today. On behalf of David Cole, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.